Hey guys, this is the YakShaver team. Welcome to sprint number 60 review and 61 planning. This will be up on our YouTube channel as always. So just make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, everything you normally do on YouTube. And let's get started with the email. So the sprint goal for sprint number 60 was to get Stripe integration done. It's not quite finished. It is almost there. Just a few more Stripe payment related issues left to deal with. It was a 1 week sprint, and we had Hajir, myself, and Steven on full time. Caleb basically 90% full time, and we had Yuli and Callum on there as well. Let's go through some of the PBIs. So Hajir, do you want to go through this first one? So YouTube integration for project video hosting.
Yep, this was one of the requests from Adam that has been there for a long time. So we had a call, and I added this option that we can update projects to have to use YouTube instead of OneDrive. The other part to select OneDrive folder for specific tenants was not still done, so it is made one way, but there is a workaround to just delete the record from our database and it would fall back by default to SSW tenant. So this is done, but the next part will be done in this sprint, so that the UI would be consistent.
Will there be a done video when this is finished?
There was a done video for this part, but of course there can be another one for the next part.
Is the one for this one good enough to go on the channel?
This one doesn't show that you can fall back to OneDrive. So I would say if you want to go to channel, it's better to have the completed one.
Okay, all right. So what I would do, Hajir, I'd make sure you got feedback from me on the current one. And then when it's ready, record the new one and get feedback from me.
Sure.
Is the data fixed now? So is all the relevant ones back to YouTube where they were?
Not all. There are, I think, 6 projects that are in YouTube.
Okay, so
do you want everything to be?
No, I want everything that was, or just have a conversation with me about what's not there and what is there, because the longer this goes on, the more videos that are not on YouTube.
There was an email sent to Tiago CC to you, and we sent the list of projects and the ones that are in YouTube. So we asked which ones do you want to be there, but we didn't receive
anything. Did you attempt to call Tiago or myself?
No, it was done on Friday, I believe.
Okay, all right. Well, what I would definitely do is call one of us to find out which projects need to be done, so you can say it's finished.
Sure. I'll call you after this sprint. Sure.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. And just following off of that, I created some for the developers because, like Hajir mentioned, that the fallback of going from YouTube back to OneDrive wasn't implemented yet on the UI side. So we just had just a few things for the devs on how to revert things back to SharePoint, or the steps to set up YouTube connection, which now you can do that on the portal. So that's just been written here and will be updated for the tenant and external tenants when we get to them, when we get to those PBIs. Yep, so there was an error on the Teams app when you download YakShaver, but you haven't actually signed up to the portal. So before, you would just get a generic error message and there was no helpful information. But now that if you first download the Teams app without ever signing up to the portal, you will get a message telling you to use the portal to sign up with a link to the portal.
And that's obviously important because when we are listed in the App Store, and people install it, that's probably the first entry point.
Mhm. Any questions on that, Yuli, Adam?
No, good.
Okay. Yeah, so this is one on the portal. So the other way around, so if they start from the portal but not the Teams app, we add a new step here to install a YakShaver app. So the button to go next is disabled until they click on the install app. This is just because we're so integrated with Teams right now that it's better that we're sure that they click to install.
Who approved this UI?
The designers designed this one. So we're basing off the
Which design?
Figma design.
Which designers?
Ken and Betty.
Okay. And who's implementing this?
Tom implemented the first wizard design, and I just worked on top of it.
Okay, all right. Lewis, would you be able to give me a call about some of these elements? For example, you don't have buttons that are this wide. They're weird. And a next button is usually on the right, and it has next space greater than.
Okay.
Yep.
I can call you after
I
this.
assume all the other next buttons on this wizard are the same, are they?
Yeah, they're all
We're just
the
using the same style. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I just kind of followed the style. For sure, I can give you a call and we can have some discussions on what can be added or changed.
Yeah. And just imagine a very wide screen, and there are some. These buttons would look even crazier.
I think they are like the wizard box itself is limited by the width, so it will always be that. But I agree the buttons are a bit wide.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
Next is the design interface. So Ken and Betty have finished off their Figma designs. So this is their prototype. So we have baseline on what some of the screens look like. It is missing a few of the new tabs like billing and reports. So we'll create separate PBIs, and when they're available, we can we'll work with them to create the Figma designs for those pages. Next are some. So we sent a Teams app validation request to Microsoft to get YakShaver approved on Teams, and we got a lot of feedback from them, some good feedback. So we've started to implement them. I'm starting with this one. So the support page for the YakShaver website. Caleb, do you want to go through this?
Yeah, so we needed a support page as part of the approval process for the Teams app. So for now, we've just added a page to the docs that we're linking to in the nav bar, just like they do on Tina.io.
So we have that. And Caleb's also done a very good job in updating Tailwind to version 4 for the website. So any interesting tidbits about this one, Caleb?
I'm starting to wonder if Tailwind adds more complexity than it solves, but that's an aside. It's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot more customizable than Tailwind 3. I like it.
Nice. We have some portal changes as well with the removal of the sync button, and we just replaced with a message. So before we had a sync users button here that it was always disabled because we were waiting for an implementation of this feature. But as an MVP, we've just created a schedule that runs every 8 hours to sync the users, and we've just included a message here that they get synced in intervals. And another one was from Steven. So creating screenshots for Microsoft approval. So Steven, do you want to go more into depth with this one?
Yeah, I had a conversation with Betty and Louis. So we worked together to do some screenshot and a little bit mock up to make the screenshot pretty. This screenshot gonna be displayed under the Microsoft Teams app marketplace. So when user click on that, they're going to see these 3 screenshots on it.
Ah, yeah, I saw these. I wonder what they were for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's based on the Microsoft feedback as well, because originally we had the sort of the mock-up screens that are on the YakShaver website, and Microsoft said if you're showing the app in action, it has to be a real screenshot and not a mock-up.
Okay.
Mhm. Any feedback from you, Adam, about the screenshots? Right. Yeah, and these two are more reports from Microsoft when they were testing out the app. So when they tried to convert email to work item, they got an error. And same with moving PBIs. So this was coming off of the brainstorming. They made a few code changes that broke the moving code. So we fixed that up and also fixed up converting email to work item. Yeah. And this last one is when we updated the YakShaver bot, and a few users, actually, I think most users when they updated the app, they got an error message. I know that Yuli, you got one, and you sent me an email, so thank you for that. You were getting the error message. So basically, what happened was that it thought, because it was like a new instance of YakShaver, it didn't know who you were until you typed help. So
Yeah.
I fixed it up so that it would send, it doesn't need to know who you are. It just sends the welcome message. And once you type hi or help, then it will know who you are.
Cool.
Right, and that's that fixed.
Hang on, sorry. The most likely first interaction would be recording a video. Is it still going to work if you don't type hi or help?
Yeah, so we need the first contact to register their like conversation, which is why the welcome thing tells them to type either on or off. That's the first thing.
Is there any way to get around that? Because I feel like I wouldn't type. I would just go, I'd install it and then try and record.
We can do a bit more investigation.
Yeah, can we shave that?
Yep. Let me record this. I can't record. I'm already recording. Let me.
You can use the Windows Shift R.
I'm gonna use Snagit. My Windows Shift R is very unreliable.
I will use Windows Shift R. Give me a second. Okay, can you put a screen on that is useful? Maybe this is a useful screen. Recording. Give me a sec. All right, I have a bug report for YakShaver. When you first install the app, you have to type hi or on or something before it recognizes who you are. And if I just install the Teams app and then record a video, that won't work at the moment. So we need to do some investigation to make sure that I don't have to type anything. I just have to install it and then I can start using it. Thank you. Anything else, anyone?
No,
Nope.
that's perfect.
Done.
Good. Nice. And that is all for the PBIs done this sprint. Any questions, Adam, Yuli?
Yes. How are we tracking for the sprint goal or the 2-week sprint goal that we had of being ready to get our wait list going?
Yes. So all the issues that Microsoft brought up in their email of the must fixes, Callum and I are going to call Rob after this meeting to discuss about that, because we've fixed everything on that list. So we're going to send it for another validation. Stripe is on the way there. I think Haji has been putting a lot of work into that, and we should be close to the finish line on that. And
they're all in review, so hopefully not too much longer.
Yeah, they're just in review.
So just a binary answer, yay or nay for the end of next sprint? Or best effort, best guess?
Best guess,
Yes.
yay.
Okay.
Best guess, yay.
We've got a bonus of 3 days of Rick and 5 days of Tom on the sprint that we didn't have
Yes.
last week as well. So hopefully that's going to help move things along too.
Okay, cool.
2 days of Tom.
Sure.
Yeah, so progress is looking good.
So with regards to the Microsoft email, it
Mhm.
had must fixes, which you've done. Has it got optional fixes?
It's got good to haves, yes.
And how many of those have we done?
We did 1 out of 4.
Right. Are we agreeing to do the other 3?
We'll certainly put them on the backlog and then prioritize them. We're not prioritizing them for this sprint, but potentially after that.
But they all make sense to you, do they?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were now, but at the time, I don't think anything was too outrageous.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them was sysadmin jobs as well. So it's like Rob said he was going to start one of them, but I can catch up with him and see what the progress is on that as well.
Right, that was something about signing up SSW as a trusted, verified partner or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Some like
Yeah.
test or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Out of my scope.
Consider adding him into your sprint reviews each morning, or talking to him in some manner.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Cool. We'll continue on with the review, with the email. That's the PBIs. Code coverage has fallen off a bit, so 0.01% less than last week. We had 7 production releases this week, which was really good. I think we kept all our changes up to date, especially when people were testing it. We just made sure that they were on the latest version. The health of it was a bit patchy at this. It looks patchy at the start with the failed requests, but that's because Hajir was setting up the Teams notifications. So if I go to my Teams here, if I go to my Teams, there's a new tab under YakShaver called Urgent Notifications. So before, these notifications were being sent by email, which could get lost, and some people put snooze on their email tasks when they're focusing. But this allows us to bypass that and send this like email message on Teams when something appears on the alert for YakShaver, which is good. And the availability, yes.
Sorry, can I just check? Does everybody in the team have their error emails going to a folder, or do they leave it in their inbox?
For me, it goes in my inbox, and I just if it's an issue, I look at it and then try to resolve it and then delete it.
Okay. What about you, Hajin?
It's in a folder I called Azure Alerts. So
right. And do you look at that folder?
Sorry?
Do you look at that folder?
No, I snoozed it. That's
Right.
why I made the Teams notification.
Okay. But wouldn't it be better not to snooze it? Like to take that rule off and leave it back in your inbox like Lewis?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Put it back in
Wouldn't
inbox?
it be better to remove the rule, the email rule, and put it back in your inbox so these errors are more visible?
Well, yeah, but now the Teams channel is giving us like someone is texting you, so it's much more better than the email. But if I didn't have the team one, I would do that.
Right. But you can snooze this one too. You can mute it.
No, I don't want to mute the Teams one. It's because in email you can get a lot of emails. Like you may get Benchmaster, Daily Scrum.
But I'm not talking about benchmarks. I'm talking about the YakShaver errors.
I know, but the email can get lost. Like you may have 20 email come at the same time, and you will lose this alert. But we have a rule that we should create a Teams alert. That's why I created that.
Right. Okay. It's not really making sense to me. But Rick, do you have them going into a subfolder?
Sorry, I wasn't following. Could you repeat the question again?
Do you have the error emails going to a subfolder or into your inbox?
The YakShaver error email?
Yes.
That's directly in my inbox.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I disagree with what you're doing, Haji. I just think you're making it so you never see them in your inbox. I understand about the Teams alert, which is great, but that's only just come about. Yeah. Like, I know it's painful, but I don't think you should do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, like, if it is in your inbox and you get 20 emails suddenly, you would lose this one again. You cannot quickly find it. But if it is in an inbox, at least you can see there's a number beside it that you haven't seen the alerts.
As you get errors and you fix them, you delete them from your inbox. You reply down, you delete them. I know it's painful, but you're just making it so you'll never see them. That's all.
Yeah, sure, I can move it back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Keep going.
Yep. And this dip in availability coincided with when YakShaver had an outage, and we were trying to fix up the bot. So that's what happened there.
And how much unavailability does it say that there was?
It didn't really know. It's for a few hours. What, 2 to 3 hours maybe? But no.
Okay.
Monthly usage. So we saw a big jump from Geoffrey and Gilles. I'm assuming that's from NDC Oslo, of them testing it, using it, showing it to people, all that. The roadmap. We have a few one more. So Stripe integration. So for the MVP, it's gone up 30%, and nothing else for the other ones because we are focusing on getting this release ASAP.
So just to be clear, that when that hits 100%, then we can release to the waitlist, or we can release to the waitlist before that hits 100%.
When that hits 100%, we release it to the. Well, that involves part of it is also releasing to the waitlist. So I guess as it's approaching 100%, we'll be releasing.
Because we had a pretty good sprint this time, and we went up 30%. But we still got to go up 55%.
Yes, because a lot of the PBIs are in review right now, like the Stripe ones.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too.
I'm setting a couple of people's expectation that it's ready next week, so I don't want to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The backlog stats. I think it just so we had more PBIs created. We had a few more PBIs created, but it's still the same amount with YakShaver labels, which is, I guess, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's gone up actually. So.
Just quick question: all the test ones that the guys are making in France, are they deleting them again? Like, are they making them and they're closing them, or have we got a bunch of mess?
I haven't noticed a large spike in the number of issues, so I wouldn't know if they made any tests. I can look at it after this.
Okay. Because I found Geoffrey had made one, and I closed. No, Gilles or someone had made one, and I closed it and told him, "Hey, don't forget to close these when they're tests." So maybe they did it after that.
Yeah. So, Lewis, there's something not so visible if you're not seeing it, but there definitely was a large spike. I would say more than 30 created by Geoffrey and Gilles, and maybe Hugo as well. But
we can see those two made 90 shaves between them, right? Based on that leaderboard we just saw.
Right.
So who knows where those 90 shaves went?
Yeah, so I think they're going into the easy lead backlog, which is obviously not the right way to do a demo. And we have the new conference coming up, and we don't want people just testing it in that way. We need to have a script similar to what the Tuna team do, where they create a real page, but just in a test project. When I did the conference and when Yuli did it, we did it on the Northwind 365 one, which I guess I consider a bit of a demo, but it's not really. It is an actual project. So maybe there's another one. But I think that's kind of a much better example. So if you could get the script of how to demo, and don't forget there'll be people out there in the real world that want to do a demo to somebody else. So they'll want to know, they'll want it just to go into one of our random backlogs.
Right. We do have the playground, the YakShaver playground that they can use. So
Okay.
we can write a script for them. That will
Is that
put-
what the try it now thing does?
Yes, yes, that's where the try now goes.
So does that tell me what to say?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it probably should have a script there so people know what to say. So it triggers what they want into the right backlog. Yeah, and ideally a real backlog so they can give a link to the GitHub issue.
Yeah.
But we want to have the Newcastle guys on the booth to have a better script than what the French guys did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I can see what I can do with the script. Okay. R&D. So Haju did a lot of Stripe setting up promo code and the payment gateway. So there was a lot of new things to research.
Christ, they got more
What-
people on the waitlist than we did.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
The
Yeah,
waitlist is more
waitlist
than
numbers like more than doubled. So
Far out. Go
that's
France.
really good. But also a bit scary because there's a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, like I was being super pushy with that waitlist too. So they got more than me. That's impressive.
Yeah. So almost 100. Almost 100. Really good.
So Adam, just flag potential risk there. That's potentially 89 instances of YakShaver that we are going to pay for 3 months.
Right.
So if any of those end up doing a lot of inference, a lot of shaves, that could cost us some money.
They can't.
Well, we're going to rate them at the moment.
We are. We're putting them on the Teams plan at
Okay.
least. That's the intention to
All
start
right, well,
with.
yeah, that'll limit their cost somewhat. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's 100 shaves per month. Teams.
Yeah, I mean that's still what $50 or something.
For
Yeah.
6 months. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all good.
It's
Worth
a
it if
marketing
they all
budget.
turn into customers,
50
right?
times 80, 4,000 marketing budget. It's not too bad.
Actually, it's not $50; it's less than that, but still. All good. Yep. And if we get lots of customers, then
Yep.
it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. That's the hope.
So on that, by the way, we're going to have to work out some kind of graceful way to end the free period and start the paid period. So some kind of message of like, hey, your free period's coming up. Put in credit card details or whatever to continue.
I think they do
enticing
need to
way.
put their credit card details when they want to use the promo code. So I think it's about letting them know that the coupon is like the coupon period is up.
Okay. Oh, well, that's even easier then. It just rolls over.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's the benefit of implementing pricing before we go live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a win. Okay, that's cool.
Cool. As for AI tools, it hasn't changed, so we can continue.
No
Ford
one's
4's
on
out now,
Ford 4
guys.
yet.
Which one?
Ford
No
4
one's
is
on
out.
Ford 4 yet.
Apple 4. I think Hajir said he tried to use it, but he ran out of credit.
Hmm.
There we go. The sprint retro. So what went well? Callum said got through most of the planned work, and even before the unplanned work, like the Microsoft had a bunch of must fixes and test blockers, and fingers crossed ready to go live this sprint. Caleb said the estimates were much better for this sprint. I mentioned that the Teams alert notification was a lot more useful, a lot better for me than email because I see it much quicker. And also Rob was very helpful in getting the Microsoft validation issues resolved because a lot of it was sysadmin related. So we had to get him to help fix a lot of those issues. And Stephen mentioned that Betty and Louis were very helpful in screenshots. And
Hold on. Just Lewis, with your Teams alert notification, is that for errors?
yeah, for errors.
Can you put a prefix on the errors? And was this one the sprint that you first got feedback from Microsoft?
This is the first sprint that we got feedback. Yes.
Okay. And who initiated that and who dealt with them?
Is
Sorry,
it the
you
first?
cut
I
out
thought
there.
we got some last week as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like more than a week.
No, pretty sure.
No,
happened this week.
I think
I'd never heard of
Because
it.
we've
just
had a couple of
started.
rounds of
sprint.
feedback from Microsoft now.
Oh,
I hadn't heard of
right.
it.
So this is when it actually came to the developer side. I think most of it was on Rob's side with the
Oh yeah,
with
'cause
the documentation
they
and
couldn't even
stuff.
get the thing installed to start with, could they? That was the first round. That was
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
it.
So actually
Yeah.
getting the thing working, this was this week. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yes. Yeah.
And who initiated
Adam,
this?
sorry, who
Who
initiated this?
initiated getting this feedback from Microsoft?
Well, we asked Rob to submit it to the App Store, and then Microsoft sent all the feedback back to us as part of getting it into the App Store.
Right. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
And who's been liaising with them?
Rob's been
I
replying
guess
to their
Rob, right?
emails based on conversations with the dev team.
Right. And who on the dev team?
I think Lewis is probably driving it primarily as the pseudo Scrum Master.
Right. Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
definitely think that's one of the highlights, getting that feedback from Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I
Yeah.
can mention that.
Hmm.
Nice. All right, moving on. What didn't go well? So Callum mentioned that adding the ability for users to do an irreversible change to YouTube video hosting was probably a non-MVP feature and could have been postponed. And also that Microsoft was testing, when Microsoft tested the app, it highlighted some of the issues we weren't aware of. This was half good and half bad. So it was good because it was free testing, but also bad. We shouldn't have had those issues in the first place when we submitted it, which I agree. And for me, I mentioned the YakShaver outage happened, but fortunately it wasn't down for very long. And what needs to improve? Another backlog refinement meeting. So we had one 2 weeks ago, and that was pretty good. But we didn't have one last week, and we should probably have one soon to.
But we need to
so that
set the
once
agenda
this-
for what happens after we've started rolling out, because that's been the focus the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I have some input into that? Just for the sake of the waitlist people, I know more than half of them are on Jira. And I'm assuming now that Jira has an MCP, it wouldn't be too hard to integrate into Jira. So I would potentially push that as a early cab off the rank if we want to make our waitlist happen.
Yeah, we've got a spike
Yeah.
for Jira integration in the coming sprint. Not sure about MCP or what, but that's what the spike is for.
Cool.
Mhm. Any other? Yep.
Yeah, I'll just give a couple of pieces of feedback. The first one, which is kind of the opposite of calm, what didn't go well is I still have issues going to OneDrive when they should be going to YouTube. And it's annoying because OneDrive doesn't work very well on my iOS device. I think the other thing that didn't go well is the rename happened without any confirmation that we were going to drop the SSW. It makes sense, but at the time I was thinking this is nuts. Why are we changing the name? So I think I would, on a big thing like that, I think you should have a conversation because it's going to be a big pain in the neck to rename it again if required.
Yeah.
The one-page flyers, not exactly you guys, but they weren't crash hot, and we need it for the conference. And the outage about the rename on the morning of the conference was not the best timing. Not that you could do anything about it, and it started working anyway. But I'm surprised that you didn't know that it was flaky if you were using an iOS device. And the last one is this may be something to improve. We need to have a script where the guys follow and they put it into an item into the backlog. And probably we should say, would you like this to go into YouTube or would you like this to go into OneDrive? And you have two different ones. Because I would always choose YouTube anyway, because I'm on an iOS device when I show people. But other people, clients may really want it in OneDrive. So if you can have a script for both.
Yep.
And I think you missed the bit about the one-page flyer for the conference. It wasn't crash up.
Which one? There were three one pages. Which one was the
all of them, but the YakShaver one I'm talking about here.
Ah, I meant that.
Did we have the chance to
What was wrong
review
with
that? I don't even remember seeing it.
It had the pricing on it.
Yeah.
I don't want the pricing on a one-page flyer. The pricing will change.
Right. Okay.
So what was that? One page file?
Flyer.
Or file?
Flyer.
A flyer. So what about one page flyer? Not done right or something?
Yeah, FLY.
Was not good, e.g. included pricing.
Oh,
Yeah.
included pricing, right.
Like basically I want the flyer to work forever and it's kind of just generic.
Oh, you want future proof. Okay.
I
I
see.
think you
Yuli, do you have anything to add to this, to the retro?
I guess it's great that the guys demoed it that many times. Like they must have had a good experience doing it if they kept doing it. So that's good.
I tell you what, they worked really hard on that booth. They were non-stop and they had a busy booth.
Nice. Were they demoing on a mobile device or on their laptop?
On their laptops.
I found myself doing it on my phone, but it was a pain, so I didn't do it that often. So probably should have done it on the laptop.
Nice.
Often when I demo, I just show you a video, Yuli.
Yeah, right.
But let me tell you, I was definitely watching how many questions they were asking people before they demoed, and they were asking a lot of questions.
Okay.
So they have a lot of knowledge about what the Norwegian community is. So yes, so I think it's pretty. They will have lots of good info for you. They'll be able to probably tell you how many people were using Azure
Jira.
DevOps versus GitHub versus Jira. So maybe I could ask you to send Jean an email with the Frenchies and CC Callum and some of the guys. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. I'll move on to the sprint planning.
Sorry, Adam, just on that, who am I sending it to, Jean or Gilles?
I would send it to Jean. But
Okay,
CC SSW France.
Cool.
Is Jeffrey in SSW France?
Yes. And I'm currently on the Oslo Fjord. There's the Oslo Fjord if you've ever want to see what it looks like.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wow. All right. I'll just move on to the planning. So the sprint goal for sprint 61 will be to roll out YakShaver to the first customer on the wait list. So hopefully that will be done before the end of the week. It'll be a 1-week sprint, and we plan on, I'll have a better view here. So we still have the Teams app basically following up on the validation issues. So I'll be following that up with Rob after this meeting. We have a lot on the Stripe side, so a few in review, and we have some tests to add, and as well as a done video for the whole Stripe integration. We have a few website changes, so adding like the blog page, and there's a few bugs that we found during the review on the website, small issues, and as well as a few bugs, like the client portal not being able to flip back and forth between the YouTube and OneDrive options, as well as a few bugs where the video has 0 length and isn't showing up. And we're at the bottom here, we also have a spike to integrate YakShaver with Jira, which is most likely the next thing we're going to tackle after we release it out to the waitlist. Any questions?
Yeah, so if people are using Jira and they're on the wait list, we can still sign them up. They will just be limited to email, and then hopefully we'll have a rough idea of, when we'll add Jira, and they can start using it when we add it.
Do we know when they're on the wait list which backlog that they would want?
It depends if whoever caught the lead typed it into the box.
Okay, all right. So we probably need that as an extra field so people actually answer it, and we have a little bit of like a prompt so that you don't always need user training.
Yep.
Cool. Anything from you, Yuli?
No.
Nope.
All good.
All right. All good. So once again, this video will be on the YakShaver YouTube channel. So remember to hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more YakShaver updates, because it's going to be releasing soon. And we'll hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lewis. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.